Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos, and today we're going to analyze how many ads you need in each of your Advanced Plus campaigns and what kind of budgets. So I had a comment from XGPalex28, I believe. He was saying that, okay, you're having $500 Advanced Plus campaigns and $1,000 ones, and isn't it a little bit risky to have this kind of budgets when you're running Advanced Plus campaigns, and maybe if it's going to fail, you're going to lose a lot of money? I do understand this point of view, but let me tell you my point of view. Hi guys, I would like to interrupt this video in order to talk to you about my new mentorship programs, and I would love if you go to the website. You're going to find the link in the description, or you can find it in the menu of my website, and over there you're going to be able to see the different mentorship programs that I have. You can find the one that is going to fit better your needs, and I will hope to see you there. If I take one ad account right now, I'm going to see what kind of Advanced Plus campaigns they were running and if they were optimizing. It doesn't mean that in each ad account you can run $500 or $1,000 Advanced Plus campaigns. You start with 100, 200, 300. If you see that the 400 is difficult for you to optimize, then you go back to 300. Eventually you will try again 400, 500, and so on. This is the way that you're going to define what the budget is going to be for your Advanced Plus campaigns, and it's not risky on that way, because basically you have seen from the past that okay, this is a budget in a campaign that I can actually optimize for this ad account, and each ad account has different numbers that you can work with. The same thing is happening also with CBO campaigns. You cannot just go and create $1,000 CBO in all ad accounts, but in some ad accounts you can, because you have done it several times, because it's a very good fit with the cost per purchase of the product, the AOV, the number of ad sets. The ad account is letting you do it, and your pixel can actually make it. So there are all of these factors. So when I go into new ad accounts, I either watch what it was done in the past, or I'm trying to understand based on the budget of each campaign how much I'm going to spend on an Advanced Plus, and if it's going well, I'm going to start increasing the spends so that I can be able to spend more with less campaigns. Because a lot of times people think that I would like to do 1 million campaigns. I would prefer to have one campaign with $10,000 budget. The problem is that it's a not sustainable way. So I'm trying to do the less campaigns that I can, but on the other hand, to be able to scale, a lot of times that means that I have to do several campaigns. So it would be better for me if I could do one campaign, but I have seen across the years that this is not a sustainable way of running an ad account. So what I have done is I'm stacking up campaigns, and how much I'm going to spend for each one Advanced Plus is being decided for each ad account separately based on what I have seen, how I have optimized, the idea that I have about it, and what it was done in the past. And maybe from time to time I will try to spend more in an Advanced Plus or in a CBO, and if it's failing I will go back to the number which is the comfort zone of the ad account in terms of spending. If I have $500, should I split it in 250 and 250? This is not decided based on how many ads you are going to use in an Advanced Plus, but it's being decided based on the history of the ad account and the way that the ad account is optimizing and the campaigns. This is another perspective that I want to give you. It's basically your experience in the ad account, or the historic data that you see in an ad account if you're just starting now. If not, you're starting from slow, from smaller spends, 50, 100, and you move your way up. A lot of times, for example, in new ad accounts, we start with 50, 100, we end up with 5, 6 campaigns, and then eventually we just close 2 or 3 and we just replace them with one bigger of 300. When you can do that, this is good. If you do that and you have worse results, then you are going to work again with 7 campaigns of 100, okay? Whatever is going to bring you results. But eventually you will have to try to work also with bigger budget campaigns, because going from 100 to 200, 300 is easy. But going from 1K spend to 10K spend, if you don't have big Advanced Plus campaigns or big CBO campaigns, you cannot do that, okay? It's going to be way too many campaigns. So you have to do it in the most efficient way, and the way that is not so risky. So you have to see the limits of each ad account on how much you can spend. Also on CBO campaigns, for example, you are watching the comfort zone, okay? So you can see that if I put 250 and 5 ad sets, I'm able to optimize this campaign, okay? So it goes with testing about the budgets, and it's not dependent on the number of ads. Now that we have analyzed the budget of an Advanced Plus campaign and how much you should have and if it's risky or not, and I think that it makes total sense, at least from my answer to the comment, the person told me that it makes sense to him, so I thought I will make a video for each one of you. The other thing that we need to discuss is the number of ads. How many ads you should have. On CBO campaigns, we know that either we're going to do dynamic creative ads, which is pretty easy, and up to 10 creatives. A lot of people are talking about the 3-2 method and stuff. I just don't think that it's hurting you if you put 10 creatives and stuff. The only thing that I have seen through the years is that if you have 10 creatives and you see one of them working really well, if you have really small budgets, then you can duplicate in your next campaign and just focus in the combination that's working, or use it as the post ID. Other than that, if you have bigger budgets, I don't find any reason of putting 3 or 4 or 5 creatives instead of 10. It's going to be totally fine. The second way is to have 3 to 5 ads per ad set, which is something which is also ideal. And then the number of ad sets is something that you're going to decide based on how fast you're optimizing, if it's taking more time and all of that, or if it's super aggressive and you're not having enough time to take decisions. So based on your optimization that you're going to do and all the videos that I'm posting about CBO optimization, you're going to be able eventually to understand the number. On Advantage Plus though, we have a completely different case. Even if you put 5, 10, 20, 30 or 40, it doesn't matter, because eventually Facebook and the Advantage Plus is going to decide to have a leading ad. Advantage Plus campaigns are working with leading ads, and they just go there and they just pick one of the ads which they think that it's going to go well. The algorithm thinks that it's going to go well, and it's focusing on that. Now, the number of ads that you're going to add there, it's just a personal preference in order for you to have options if you start closing your leading ad because it's not working well. So if you're having 5, you have less room, and you have to be lucky for one of the 5 to work immediately, and you're going to be fine. If you're having 10 or 20 ads over there, again, you're not going to test all of the ads. You're just going to test one. If it's not working, move to the next one, move to the next one, move to the next one. And maybe you don't want to do all of that because you're going to end up losing a lot of time. So maybe you can split the Advantage Plus to 10 and 10 creatives. The ideal number of creatives that I see is between 5 and 10 for any budget from 100, 200, 300. But what I'm trying to say here is that if you have a $500 budget, you don't necessarily need to put 20 or 30 ads over there. You can even work with 10. The thing here is that it's going to focus in one. And again, based on the previous discussion, if you have seen that you're optimizing properly in this ad account 500 or 1K Advanced Plus campaigns, it's not going to be an issue also for this campaign. So, as my thumb says, 10 equals 20. It doesn't matter if you add 10 or 20 or 30, still it's going to work with 1 or 2 or 3, and it's just a personal preference on how long you want to keep the optimization in case that it's going to fail. That's also the reason that we have the strategy with the Advanced Plus campaign, that if we have 10 creatives, for example, and one of them is working, then we duplicate the campaign and we run it with the others so that we can keep this campaign working, because we haven't tested efficiently the other ads and maybe they're more winner to the other ads. It's the nature of the Advantage Plus that makes us not care about the number of ads that we're going to have there, because anyway, it's going to focus on 1, 2, 3. And it's up to us to close them so that we can give budget to the rest ones to be tested. Just that, that's all my notes. Just a personal preference for you if you wanna keep optimizing it, or if you wanna just know in 1 week or 2 weeks if you will do another Advanced Plus, do 5 ads. If you wanna keep it for a longer period and just try to optimize the others and test them during a period of time, do 10 or even 20 if you wanna keep it for a longer period. It really depends on the way that you wanna move. That's all I had for you. Don't forget that if you want to learn more, you can check my book, my course, my website, and my mentorship programs. And until we meet again, guys, be creative and be consistent.